Okay, we're going to test something new tonight. We're going to test the map enhancement night textures. I also think excuse me, I think I might have fixed the mic problems that I was having earlier today. I found that my gain dial was turned all the way up. I think that's what was making it hard to hear, but we'll find out how it sounds in this particular stream. For this one, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're basically going to do a little flight that I would sometimes do in the Tampa area. Going from Albert Whitted, here in St. Pete, out over the beach, up along the water, to Clearwater, and then you can pick up the VFR transition. You can see these red arrows here, where they assign you an altitude, usually going east. They'd give us 2,500 feet right over the middle of runway 27, right over the top of Tampa. And then from there you can head over to Lakeland. So we're going to simulate that tonight. I actually have some Tampa approach playing here that I'm streaming to give us a little air traffic control sound in the background just for color. But we won't be doing any pilot edge or anything like that. This is mostly just to get a sense of what the map enhancement textures look like, night textures, and I'll tell you about that in a second. First, let's get things fired up here. The old SR22. One of the cool things about Real SimGear's gear is you can actually adjust the brightness of the instruments with the panel, as you can see, which makes it nice for night operations. We won't be long on this flight. One of the other things I noticed is that the lights aren't working on the second display. Everything else seems to be, but the lights don't seem to be, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I don't think I updated the aircraft file over here when I updated the aircraft. That's probably the problem. That's why I don't have any nav lights over there, and we won't have you won't see the landing light over there either. But that's okay, we won't worry about that this time. Positive fuel flow. Pump on. We would say clear prop. Oh, come on, baby. Try it one more time.
That was 2000, airport site selection 378. First visual 36.
Whatever that's about. Not quite sure what that's about. We got plenty of gas flowing through. What the problem could be. There we go. Not quite sure what that was about. We're started up now. Nav lights on. Landing lights on. And as you can see, we're getting lights clearly out the front and out this side, but on this side, for some reason, we're not. And I think it's because I updated the aircraft file for the SR-22 on the master PC, but I haven't updated it on the slave PC. And so they're probably not talking to each other as they should. So we'll just live with that as best as we can. Okay, we're here at Albert Whitted. Whitted's weather, might as well pick it up so we know which way we're going to depart, is 118875. I used to have that memorized back in the day. And it's not giving me any weather for Whitted. Which means this airport is out of date in X-Plane. I had the Whitted in X-Plane for a while. I'll have to update it. We'll just look at most recent weather. 300 at 4 will take off on 27. And the altimeter is 3011. I haven't heard Tampa. I wonder if it crashed. It had crashed before. The streaming player had crashed on me. Frames here, I wonder why. Let's look at our plugins real quick. Oh, it seems okay. The media player is I don't know. Must have lost it. Oh well, if the stream's gonna be crashing, that's not something I'm gonna mess with. So we will just ignore that. Besides, I don't want this to take forever. Okay, so we would announce that we're going to 27. Which means we have to taxi down Alpha here. 25, that's actually here. Taxi down Alpha and cross Bravo, what they normally give you. What the hell? You know, this was doing this. It did this to me earlier today. I don't know why. I don't know if it is toggling to the wrong tank and thinking it's losing the tank. I don't know what's going on. But it's priming. It's got fuel flow. The hot start's a pain in the ass. I had to deal with this before. There we go. There's Tampa. Alright, we'll keep on our way. Boy, that looks really good out the front window for me. Don't know how it looks for you guys. Guess I'll see on the stream. I have some light mod that I downloaded that really makes the lights look great. You'll see these, how good those look. And look at how left. Again, I don't have my lights running over there for some reason. Again, due to miscommunication between the master machine and the slave machine. Overall, it's pretty good. So, Map Enhancement is a free piece of software that streams ortho scenery into X-Plane. I have the Pro version, which lets you select other map sources. I usually use the Apple Maps. They have a new feature that they are calling night textures, which make it so that you can see all the city lights at night and sort of extends it into the distance, which X-Plane can struggle with sometimes, like really vast road networks that you see far out in the distance. And so I'm going to give it a look-see tonight, see how it looks. Coming up to Bravo. We're going to dispense with our normal run-up because we are just testing tonight. Where's my Bravo intersection? There it is. It would be told to hold short, and they would clear us to cross. Oh boy, those are bright. They seem unusually bright. I'm going to make this turn here. Cross 1-8. Go to Delta and then enter to okay. Okay. Let's get this set to the next screen that I prefer. Is this one? Shows traffic and terrain. We've got real-world traffic running in the sim here.
Okay, right turn to heading on 2.
Real traffic. Live traffic, that's what it is. Let's check status and information. We've got plenty of air traffic in. I wonder why. Let's see. Wonder if this plugin also needs to be updated before it'll work. The most recent X-Plane updates required quite a bit of yeah, it's not showing any aircraft. I wonder why. Live traffic usually works great. Channel let's activate other channels. See if we can pull in some other ADSB sources. So live traffic is a pretty cool utility that pulls in air traffic from real-world systems, ADSB tracking systems, which airplanes use to show each other where they are in the air and on the ground, and injects live traffic into the sim. And usually it works like a dream, although now it's telling me that all these channels are invalid after too many errors. Sometimes if you stop a plugin and restart it, it works. In this case, it's giving me errors. So it probably is a problem I need to update the plugin, which has happened with quite a few. Plugins since the X-Plane update. Again, I haven't used the sim in about 5 or 6 months, so I'm kind of slowly but surely finding all the bugs. It would be cool to have traffic in here. Now let's see if it'll let me update it. New version is available. Let's see if we can get it. Download this file. You probably don't want to watch this. But sometimes it takes a second. Oh, but I would have to probably completely reboot X-Plane. Alright, screw that. We'll just turn it off. We'll imagine that we have live traffic. Yeah, it's kind of too bad because flying over the top of Tampa with live traffic is cool. Let's try one more thing. Oh, it's filling traffic now. It seems to be working. Same 25 hour count. Okay, hey. Sometimes you do just have to restart it a couple times to get it to work. So we should have traffic in the sim here in a second. Alright. Okay, we've got traffic. Who knew? Alright, let's get on our way. Sorry for the camera bump. It's all lined up here. I'm just switching over to the stream. Okay. Oh, we've got some people watching. Sorry, usually with a night stream like this, I presume nobody's watching, and I just sort of ramble, so I apologize for that. Okay, we're going to Labs 15. It's not on the checklist. Made this departure in the SR-22 many times. SR-20 mostly out of the way. They actually usually don't depart you this way, because they don't want you going right at these buildings. They would usually take you just on out over the water, but we're not traditional tonight. Okay, we're up. Have some come up. I realize we never launched the air manager either. Okay, well these night textures are looking pretty good. Yeah. In fact, they would never take us out on 2.5. It shows you how rusty I am for forgetting that. Turn to head due west. It's stable to 1,500 feet until we're past the arrival airport from PIE, which is out there in the distance. I'm going to go with a heading hold right here. So that I can get Air Manager running so that our flap switch works. I should write a script. If I was smart, I would just write a script to boot up all the plugins that I need in the sim. But that presumes that I would be smart, and I'm clearly as smart as I should be. Air Manager is a nice little utility that you can use to program switches and such in the sim. Control the flaps. I don't know if you can see, but a green light just came on there. That's the flap light for the flap switch. Alright, we're going to go up just to 2,500 feet to disco the autopilot. We head out over St. Pete Beach. Well, I'm seeing lots of lots of lights out in the distance, which is what you want to see. It's looking toward the bridge. It's looking up towards Clearwater. And the Delta airspace here is 3,000 feet, so here the Bravo airspace is 3,000, so you're going to stay out of that, and we're out over the water at 6. And it sort of looks like really flying over the water, just a dark hole in front of us. Can't really see anything. Traffic may not be getting communicated to the screen. Okay, so we are just going to fly right up the beach here to Clearwater and then right over the top of Tampa. And that way, except ocean. St. Pete area. I can actually see the Tampa Tower blinking. Looks like we have some traffic out there in the distance also. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, this is X.12, the most recent beta. And we're trying night ops in the home sim. With a little hop that I used to make sometimes in the St. Pete Clearwater area. In here at Lakeland, that's where I'm going. Nate is in the chat. Engine a little loud, your voice a little quiet. See, I had the opposite problem before. Engine was too loud, voice was too quiet. Let me know how this is. The voice was really overmodulated. It was coming in really loud and really hot. So I am trying to get the levels right, and the more you can help me with that, the better. We have a little traffic here in front of me. Avionics off. Oops. No wonder I couldn't get the weather. Oh boy. One of those days. We also don't need to be cruising along at 174 knots. Okay. Up here at Clearwater Beach, there's a visual reporting point for the Clearwater Pier, which is right up in here. And then once we get there, we can head due west. And it brings you straight over the top of Tampa. This is perfect right here. Okay, well then I need to take a picture of where those levels are. because it has been a hassle to get them right. There we go. I like being able to hear the engine noise, but not at the expense of being able to have you hear me. And yeah, it was really overmodulated today. The Pilot Edge guys, they were driving them crazy. Okay, so I would call Tampa. I would be talking to Tampa approach anyway. Basically, asked for the VFR transition over the top. They would clear me. They would ask if I had Tampa in sight, which I will in a minute. And then they would basically clear me at about 2,500 feet to fly right over the top of runway 27, which is what we're going to do. And yeah, these night textures, I can see this county, but I don't see Tampa in the distance. They just loaded that whole section. So not a fan of that. I was hoping that these would be better, but they don't really seem to be. We gotta get up to 2,500 to be in compliance. I mean, you would definitely be able to see all of the city of Tampa in front of you. You can see the airport, but it hasn't loaded the files yet. It looks like for the city. Like this county looks great, Pinellas County. But you really should be able to see much further into the distance, so we're gonna have to try to see if we can get another fix for that. Okay, well, that's why we're testing it. So this is the bridge up here. Wasn't my altitude, it's late. And we basically will fly right over the top of runway. See, you can see it loading in the scenery tiles. So it just loaded that in. And who knows, it's with map enhancement, maybe it gets it all loaded and then it's good to go. Or maybe it crashes, which I think it just did. Look at that. All right, well, we learned something. We learned that map enhancement crashed it. At least I think it crashed it. It'll be easy to find out because I finally got wise and I put Claude on the main machine, so now I can just say things like, hey, read the log files and tell me what happened and fixed it. But we'll do that tomorrow. This is God telling me it's time to call it a night. But that's why we test. So test successful. We learned that that doesn't work. At least if I believe map enhancement was the cause because it was loading tiles when it crashed. And it must be the night textures that is the problem because map enhancement during the daytime is no issue. Anyway, we'll look at the logs, we'll figure it out. Sorry for the early end of the stream, but sometimes that's the way things go.
3,000 fields in sight, Allegiant 26.
There you go, 3,000 fields in sight for Allegiant 2326. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching the test. We learned something, even if it didn't go quite the way we wanted. Oh, Nate is giving me some. I disable XPME at night and use Driscoll's night lights with base light in mid. Looks fantastic that way to the horizon. Okay, so if you're watching and not following the live chat, Nate, who has a great Cessna simulator, says at night he disables map enhancement and uses Driscoll's night lights with Bayes lighting mod. Okay, gives me a project for tomorrow. Thanks, Nate. Thanks everybody for watching. Sorry for the early crash, but hey, it's simulation. This is what happens. And we'll see you soon.